Hello and welcome to Jessie Bear Book Club. Today we are discussing Dark Tides, the latest book in the Philippa Gregory series about the Tidelands. I bought this book straight after reading Tidelands, and Tidelands was middling, so I thought in the next book all these characters are going to get more in depth and more explored. The front of the book says, "A brother in exile, a widow's grief, a daughter's quest to find the truth." So I thought the book would open with promise, but I was surprised the Ricci family had moved so far away from Fairmile. They'd moved to London. I found this extremely unrealistic. If they would have moved to any city, it probably would have been Chichester. James Avery turns up straight away and is still an unlikable fool. But there definitely wasn't enough of Eleanor in this book. She was the main character in Tidelands, but she is hardly seen in this book. Rob's widow, Livia, was interesting to start with, and I got real Beatrice Lacey vibes at the start, but then her character went off a cliff and became a caricature of a manipulative whore. Sorry, but it's true. Once I had finished the book, I realised how much more interesting Livia could have been if we had better POVs of her scheming. We only get a brief overview. If we had known her plan, or if all of the book had been from her POV, I think it would have been much better, especially the climax at the end. But the POVs jump around so much that you don't really get attached to anyone. Sorry if I keep changing the way I am pronouncing Livia's name. I keep thinking it should be Livia, but I think it's Livia. Does anybody know for sure? I know it's the Italian version, so I'm not quite sure. So correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to keep with Livia, I think. But that just makes me think of Tony Soprano's mother. Then we get the twins, Sarah and Johnny. Sarah is okay. She isn't overly interesting. The best bit of her in this book is definitely when she jumps off the side of the boat. But Johnny, poor pointless Johnny, is only in about 2 scenes and doesn't need to exist. He has no character depth. There's really nothing going on there. I feel as if Philippa Gregory in Tidelands made Ali and Eleanor pregnant, so there then had to be 2 babies, so she had 2 characters in Dark Tides, but only enough story for one of them. But what really irritated me, not just irritated, disappointed me about this book was the fact we never got to find out who James Avery's kid is. Is it Sarah or is it Johnny? Why have this big mystery if you're not going to solve it? I do not believe Eleanor miscarried. That doesn't make sense. So, shouldn't it have been revealed in some small, subtle way or in a big climactic scene like they had at the end of the book? I kept waiting for it and it kept not happening. But it's obviously Sarah, right? Does anybody else believe it's Sarah, or is somebody out there Team Johnny? Leave a comment and let me know. Another thing I kept waiting to happen was Ali's husband, Richard, turning up looking for the heir to his farm. That would have been way more realistic instead of sending Sarah to Venice, which never would have happened in real life. They should have moved to Chichester and then had a story about who James Avery sired and then the other father turning up to claim his kid instead of this big fiasco that didn't make sense. Also, the weird Ali, Livia, James love triangle was so odd and kind of pointless. It seemed thrown in like an afterthought, like Philippa Gregory just wanted a queer relationship in the book, but only gave it 1 scene and no development really. I know it plays on it a little bit, the court case, but man, it could have been so much more. While reading the book, I did start getting a little bit excited about Venice. And then I found out Venice is incredibly dull. It would have been better if we had found out Livia was a commoner. A commoner, perhaps a courtesan made good, or an impoverished noble family who was a gold digger with a much older husband. But no, we get Philippe. Philippe, who lies all the time and has a collection of corpses. Why doesn't this go anywhere? Sarah finds this massive pile of dead people and then just continues like everything's normal, like he doesn't have 50 rotting people in his basement. I mean, that's serial killer material. So weird. Not just that, then it's never brought up really again. Oh, Philippe is a liar, but he's changed his ways, and he's going to move to England and what, just leave all these dead people in his basement for his mother to find? So weird. Philippa Gregory, you've gone off the deep end here. The weirdest bit is, after Sarah finds all these corpses, she agrees to marry him? I mean, how does she not know that maybe he killed them? Does that not cross her mind? He's like, oh, I dug them up. Maybe you killed them. The book ends in what is meant to be a dramatic, climactic wedding scene. And it was alright, I guess. I mean, the first book ended with a wedding. The second book ended with a wedding. At least that continues. We're keeping some form of continuity now, are we, Philippa Gregory? None of the characters from the first book are that important, but we're going to get a wedding this time, again. As for Uncle Ned and his New England plot, it goes nowhere and is pointless to the story completely. I kept thinking the plots would line up somehow, that perhaps there would be 2 weddings at the end of the book, or Ned would decide to come back to England, but no. It seems like Philippa Gregory just wanted to write about Native Americans again. I honestly feel like I should give up on Philippa Gregory. This book could have been interesting. In fact, it should have been interesting. All the elements were there. It just wasn't. I really struggled to get through it. I put it down on 3 separate occasions and struggled to find the energy to pick it back up. Whatever it was that I thought that Philippa Gregory was rekindling in Tidelands has been demolished in this book. I give it 3 out of 10. The most interesting part of this book was the twins, and it was completely ignored who their father was, as if it wouldn't matter to them. Even if their father was just Richard Stoney, I think they would want to know. I do believe the next book in this series, Dawn Lambs, is coming out this year, and forgive me, but I won't be reading it. If you enjoyed this review and didn't think it was too harsh, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I have a full playlist on Philippa Gregory's work. I also review other historical fiction like Alison Weir and TV shows which are historical, kinda. So until next time, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at Lady Jessica Riddell. Until next time, bye!